Hi there, a very good evening and a very warm welcome to our channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. My name is Vikrant. I'm your personal coach for all things related to English, communication skills, and psychological aspects of preparation. So if you have any questions along these lines, make sure that you go ahead and drop it down here. Rex says, "What's up? What's up, guys? Welcome back to another iQuanta video. What's up? Or what's up?" Okay, so as you can see, this is basically about how I scored 100 percentile in the CAD exam. So it takes me back to the past. The very first year I scored 100 percentile in, when you get the result, you are obviously happy, it feels good, but it is not that you really plan for it. Huh? All that you do is you go ahead and put in the efforts, and I'll just take you through a few minutes of that journey and the kind of mindset that I had and what helped me grow. In between, if you happen to have any questions, feel more than free to drop them down below. Aishani Shambhavi, Pokiera, and Anindita Sujata, or is it Anindita Sujata, depending upon which region you are from? Chances are that your name will be pronounced differently. So let's go ahead and talk about my journey to a perfect score, because, and I'm calling it a perfect score because I, of course, had 100 percentile, but even more importantly, I also had 100%. So how did I go on to get 100% and 100 percentile in the VARC section of the CAD exam? So I remember it very distinctly that roughly from around 2001 onwards, that's when I started very consciously experimenting with, uh, having goals in life. So for a long period of time, I knew that we need to have goals, and I kind of had goals which were not very clear or not very refined, or maybe I did not even take those goals very seriously. But somewhere around 2001, I started living a life where I became more conscious, more eventful of, or more mindful of having goals in life. So I'd say one of the key differences in my life, one of the key contributors towards that great score, was this simple fact that I was goal oriented. And this is something that I would definitely recommend. And even here, let me keep on adding to the list. So first up, you know that we need to have goals, and goals are not just professional goals. Okay, so when it comes to goals in my life, I realize that I of course have. So I have professional development goals, but then I also happen to have some personal development goals. As years pass by, I actually also happen to have health goals. I have relationship goals. I have spiritual development goals, right? So across different categories, yeah. For that matter, I even happen to have what I typically call the genie goals, things that I don't think I will ever get around to do in life, or I'd be able to do. But then if a genie were to pop up and say, "Ha ha ha, here are your 3 wishes for setting me free. What do you want?" तो कुछ तो होना चाहिए, नहीं तो पता चले कि कोई ऐसी चीज बोल दी जो खुद से कर ही लेते, राइट? तो वो जीनी गोल्स तो सारी चीजें, तो आई थिंक, और इसमें भी वन ऑफ द की थिंग्स आई रियलाइज्ड इज दैट गोल्स आर द स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट ऑफ गोल्स इज ड्रीम्स. तो कहीं ना जिंदगी जीते जीते मैंने देखा कि हमारे गोल कई बार छोटे हो जाते हैं. वो गोल छोटे नहीं होते, वो ना सपने छोटे हो जाते हैं, हम सिनिकल हो जाते हैं, हम सेल्फ डाउट्स में पड़ जाते हैं. सो आई बिलीव दैट गोल्स आर ड्रीम्स, एंड व्हेन यू ड्रीम बिग. मेरे एक फेवरेट पंजाबी पोएट है पाश. उन्होंने एक पोम लिखी थी जिसका हिंदी ट्रांसलेशन बेसिकली ये है कि सबसे बुरा होता है सपनों का मर जाना. So the worst thing that can happen to you is when your dreams die. So I constantly remind myself that hey, I need to keep them alive. And when I say I'm goal oriented, having those goals is one part of the process, because after that part I have an entire system. I have a series of 7 steps that I go through, and I have taken some of you through that process here on YouTube too. So I very diligently spend a couple of hours going through those 7 steps, and later on in the week or two following it, there are some more things which are added to that particular list, and that's how that entire journey becomes better. Let me take a couple of questions before I move on. So Om, I think I'm doing well in VARC sectional. The result is not good. Okay, so Om, you notice this contrast. On one hand, we are saying that I am doing well. On the other hand, we are saying that my accuracy is 60-65%. So these two things are contradictory. Okay, so our feeling is great. It's a valid thing. But then at the end of the day, we do need to look at the facts as well. So an accuracy rate of below 70% prevents us from getting a truly great score. So we definitely want to move beyond 70%. And even at 70-75% accuracy, you can get a great score if your attempts are reasonably high. Which, if that's an issue, if you say you are able to attempt only say 14, 15, 16 questions with 70% accuracy, even that will be a trouble. Right? So with attempts that low, we want an accuracy to be 80% plus. So let's just go by the facts, okay? Not the feelings. Then Jay just gave the VRC gift sectional 2, scored a decent 96 percentile. Oh, that's nice. The third and the fourth passage of sectional had me racking my brains. Jay, that's what we are trying to do. We are just trying to ensure that we give you something which is reasonably tricky. Gift sectionals are not going to be as tricky as the mocks generally are. But yeah, that's the goal. How do you navigate hard passages? The easiest way is to leave them out. So whatever is hard for you, make sure that you put it at the very end. Become better at passage selection or question selection. As a result, you'd be able to deal with them only if time permits. Okay. If you do want to become better in terms of your ability, then you need to define what hard is for you. So when I say a passage was hard, what made it hard? Was it the subject matter? Was it the language used by the author? Was it a plethora of difficult words? What? There has to be something that made it difficult, right? So depending upon where the difficulty came from, you can go ahead and address that particular aspect and then work through it. Smith, we have taken a few sessions on that too here on our channel itself. There was a video uploaded some 3-4 days ago. I think you go through that and that should help you. हिमांशु says 32 मिनट में 4 RC, accuracy 50%. तो भाई देख, अगर फास्ट जाने की वजह से accuracy इतनी कम हो रही है तो फिर स्लो जाओ. 4 पैसेज अटेम्प्ट करने की जगह कॉन्शियस डिसीजन ले लो, 3 ही करूंगा, लेकिन accuracy 70 से ऊपर रखनी है. ओके नवदीप, अभी जब 3 मार्क्स की बात करें तो इसमें जेनेरिक स्ट्रैटेजीज काम करेंगी, और जेनेरिक स्ट्रैटेजीज के बहुत सारे वीडियोस ऑलरेडी चैनल पे अवेलेबल हैं. ओके तो चलो अभी बाकी क्वेश्चंस थोड़ी और देर में लेते हैं. बट द फर्स्ट की थिंग इज, इफ यू आर नॉट गोल ओरिएंटेड देन आई वुड वांट यू टू बी गोल ओरिएंटेड. अच्छा, अब गोल सेटिंग में ना देयर इज दिस प्रॉब्लम, एंड द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट वी एट टाइम्स spend a lot of time on planning and there is very little time that goes towards executing. So it's very important that in addition to being goal oriented, you have a bias towards action, or in other words, you need to become action oriented. So by action oriented, I mean that planning is fine. Okay, I have nothing against planning. I in fact encourage everybody to plan, encourage everybody to make to-do lists and all that. But you need to be biased towards action. Make sure that every day, see, even when you have just decided on a goal. Even if I've just written down the goal that I want to work towards, I always ask myself this question that, okay, what can I do right now that will take me closer to my goal? So even if I have 10 minutes, even if I put in efforts worth 10 minutes that day, I definitely put in those efforts. So I realize that at the end of the day, consistency matters. I realize that at the end of the day, even if you're able to take out 5 minutes for something, it will eventually add up. So you need to become action oriented, and you need to ensure that you do not really get trapped into that zone where you're just planning and not executing. And one of the key things that has helped me in this process is the simple singular fact that I make to-do lists. Now, there are pros, there are cons, there are a lot of issues with to-do lists, but then I still very firmly believe that every morning when you wake up, if you know what all you have on your calendar for the day, chances are that you'd live a more focused life. Of course, you need to be sensible when it comes to maintaining to-do lists, but there are 4 key things that I'd like to share with you with respect to to-do lists. Apart from the fact that yes, you need to make them. Number 1, this to-do list is a list of your day. So through to-do list, you are writing down a plan of your day. It is not a plan of your studies. Which means that if you know that you are going to watch Bhool Bhulaiya 3 tomorrow, or you plan to watch Venom tomorrow, it should be there on your calendar. Because when you decide to go watch a movie, you know that you have 3 hours less as compared to other days, and as a result, you are going to put in a more reasonable set of things. The second thing that I want you to do is, I want you to keep your to-do list task oriented and not time oriented. So a lot of people say that I'm going to study from 2 to 2:30, quant 2 to 2:30. No, write down what you want to achieve that particular day in quant, and what you write down must be very specific. Okay, so specific and measurable. And finally, the fourth and the last thing is, put the big rocks in first. Things you find challenging, boring, demanding, exhausting, those are the things that you do first. The difficult things first, the easy things later. So these 4 things have helped me level up. Okay, so going through this should generally help you in accomplishing more, so that action orientation, well, that goes a long way. Now, before I move over from action orientation, let me go ahead and take a few questions once again. तबीश सर, क्या 4 आरसीज कर सकते हैं? 2 क्वेश्चन सब में से। तबीश, कर तो सकते हैं। अगर एक आरसी में ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आ गए जो पता ही नहीं है कैसे करने हैं, कैसे होंगे, या 2 ऑप्शंस में बहुत कंफ्यूजन है, तो कर सकते हैं। मतलब अगर मैं पर्सपेक्टिव देखूँ ना, तो मैं तो एलआर की तरह ही देखता हूँ इसको। जब हम डीआई अटेम्प्ट करते हैं, एलआर अटेम्प्ट करते हैं, हम इस माइंडसेट से थोड़ी जाते हैं सारे सवाल करेंगे ही करेंगे। जो हो गए कर देंगे, जो नहीं हुए वो छोड़ देंगे। दी ओनली डिफरेंस इज, डीआई में ना वो इनिशियल इन्वेस्टमेंट थोड़ा कम होता है ग्राफ को स्टडी करने का। आरसी में वो इनिशियल इन्वेस्टमेंट कुछ लोगों का ज़्यादा हो जाता है। तो अगर आपने पैसेज पढ़ने में 3-4-5 मिनट लगा दिए और फिर 2 ही क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट किए, तो दैट एड्स अप। ऑन दी अदर हैंड, अगर आप मेरे तरह यार पैसेज पढ़ने में 1 ही मिनट लगा रहे हैं, तो उस केस में तो डिसीजन बहुत आसान हो सकता है। तो बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं, अटेम्प्ट दोज दैट आर ईजी फॉर यू। बाकी थोड़े ना सेक्शन टेस्ट्स और मॉक कैट्स में, आई कैट्स में एक्सपेरिमेंट करके देख लो, उसके बाद देखेंगे। Then Rizwan, it has been 4 months I've started, but still my accuracy varies in range of 50%. Rizwan, if you've been working for 4 months and your accuracy has not increased, it means that the plan that you are following to improve your accuracy rate, that plan is flawed. That plan is not right. So you need to look at your plan and evaluate whether the plan is good or not. And I'm telling you right now, the plan is not good. Otherwise, in 4 months, if you've not gone beyond 50%, the plan has to be blamed, right? So either the strategy is wrong or you are not executing it. There can't be a third reason behind it, right? So evaluate these two things. Anonymous से पहले कौन है? Palak, sir, I want to crack CAT in first attempt. So sir, which strategy is good for me? Should I go offline coaching or online? पलक ऑफलाइन वर्सेस ऑनलाइन से कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. फ़र्क इस चीज़ से पड़ता है कि आप जिनके साथ काम कर रहे हैं वो कितने अच्छे हैं. तो ऑफलाइन इंस्टीट्यूट्स में मैंने बहुत साल पढ़ाया है. But one of the challenges that we face in an offline institute generally is that there is no guarantee who teaches you. You are put in a batch, and who teaches that batch is determined by the management. Some teachers are amazing, some teachers are not so. So what kind of person would you get? How committed will that person be towards your journey? So those are the kind of things that matter, yaar. हाँ, so जाके देख लो ना, दोनों जगह डेमो लेकर के देखो what resonates with you, and then we'll check. Anonymous says, hello sir, I want to ask you an opinion. भाई पूछ ले यार, why do you need my permission for that? राघवेंद्र सर, आपको मैसेज किया है, प्लीज सी. यार अगर फेसबुक पे किया है तो देख भी नहीं पाया हूँगा. जब जवाब ना आए ना, भेज दिया करो यार 2-3 दिन में फिर से, ताकि ऊपर आ जाए. सृष्टि, that's a little strange. Srishti, start practicing more of odd one out and para jumbles from today on. I am sure you'll do well in para summaries, so I'm not recommending that. If you're good at RCs, para summaries are more or less an extension. Smith says, sir, which type of questions should we avoid in examination? Smith, all those questions that your conscious asks you. The garbage in your mind at times asks you questions like, will you be able to do it? Do you think you are ready? Those are the kind of questions that you should avoid. बाकी अपने को किसी question से डर नहीं लगता है. Okay. Siddharth, mostly above 25 in VARC, comparatively better than other sections. ICAT 13 में 4. Oh, Siddharth, this is my next point. So it's a nice jive in. So Siddharth says, yeah, I wrote an ICAT. I got 4 marks. A little while ago, somebody told us that he got 3 marks. So here is this third thing. So I told you that I am goal oriented. I told you I'm action oriented. The third thing that I'm telling you is that I am always future oriented. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, come to think of it, you wrote an ICAT and you got 4 marks. This is your past. There is no point in dwelling there. All that we want to take from our past is a lesson or a series of lessons, and then we start focusing on future. We start focusing on the very next moment that we have. So I've been teaching people for 24 years now, and I can tell you that these competitive exams, CAT, mock CATs in particular, they have a very nasty habit of beating you down. Even those who eventually end up getting calls from some of the best colleges in the country and converting it, even they experience at least one mock which was a disaster for them. Now, a lot of people get disheartened by that. A lot of people give up at that juncture. But you need to realize that it is life. Life is full of uncertainties. When it comes to life, dude, shit happens. चीजें होंगी जो बुरी जाएंगी. टेस्ट्स होंगे ऐसे जिनमें स्कोर इतना घटिया आएगा कि अपने आप पे सवाल उठ जाएंगे. तो ऐसे सारे दिनों में क्या करना है? बैठो, एक्नॉलेज करो उसे, लिव दैट एक्सपीरियंस. बुरा फील कर रहे हो, करो ना, इमर्स कर लो अपने आप को उस बुरे होने वाले फीलिंग में, बट एक फिक्स्ड अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम के लिए. 5 मिनट, 15 मिनट, 30 मिनट. अरे जगजीत सिंह की गजलें तक चला डालो साथ में, लाइट डिम कर लो, करो बुरा फील. बट द मोमेंट दोस 30 मिनट्स आर अप, उसके बाद फिर से उठ करके क्या सोचना है? अच्छा, अभी आगे क्या, अगले हफ्ते क्या करना है, अगले दिन क्या करना है, अगले घंटे में क्या करना है. तो जो स्कोर्स थे अब वो पास्ट है. एज आई सेड, जस्ट टेक द लेसन्स फ्रॉम देम एंड देन मूव ऑन. डू नॉट अलाउ दीज थिंग्स टू अफेक्ट योर सेल्फ बिलीफ. यार मैं तुम्हें बता रहा हूँ, कैट जो है ना, ये एप्टीट्यूड का एग्जाम है. एप्टीट्यूड का मतलब क्या होता है? नेचुरल एबिलिटी टू डू समथिंग. सो इट्स अ नेचुरल एबिलिटी. गॉड हैज गिवन यू दैट एबिलिटी. इट इज जस्ट दैट यू हैव दैट एबिलिटी बट यू नीड टू पॉलिश इट. ऐसा नहीं है कि वो वाला मॉड्यूल तुम में लगा के ही नहीं भेजा गया. हाँ, सो मुझे पक्का पता है कि यू आर गोइंग टू बिकम सक्सेसफुल इन लाइफ, irrespective of what others tell you, irrespective of what you tell yourself. I know that you're going to be successful. Huh? And I know that because I know that all it requires is consistency. All it requires is showing up for work every day. तो मैं बताऊं, ज्यादातर लोग इस दुनिया में काम करते ही नहीं हैं. तो अगर आप थोड़ा सा भी काम करने लग जाते हैं ना, तो आप टॉप 30% में तो तभी आ जाते हैं. और अगर आप रेगुलरली काम करने लग जाते हैं, थोड़ा ज़्यादा जैसा भी, आप टॉप 10% में आने से तो आपको कोई रोक ही नहीं सकता. और अगर आपने रेगुलरली ज़्यादा काम करना शुरू कर दिया, तो आप मान के चले आप टॉप 5% में तो आएंगे ही आएंगे. हाँ, सो ये सारी जर्नी है यार लाइफ की. इसमें सेल्फ बिलीफ टेस्ट होगा, लोग बहुत सारी नेगेटिव चीज़ें बोलेंगे, हम खुद अपने आप को कई बार बहुत नेगेटिव चीज़ें बोलेंगे, बट देन लर्न टू लिमिट इट ऑल एंड लर्न टू लुक अहेड. अब जो हो गया सो हो गया, आगे देखो. एंड दैट्स हाउ यू आर एबल टू रिकवर फास्टर. तो थोड़ा फ्यूचर ओरिएंटेड. और इसके साथ एक चौथी चीज़ जो मेरे में है, आई एम अ लिटिल एनल इन दैट सेंस ना, आई एम ऑब्सेस्ड विद बिकमिंग बेटर. So when I set a goal, I generally, I am very competitive by nature. Uh, and kind of then, I start living with those things for a long period of time. So that obsession, how can I become even marginally better? What else can I do that can make it superior? क्योंकि होगा क्या ना, you know about the वो क्या बोलते हैं उसको, वो लॉ ऑफ मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी के क्या ना, विद द पैसेज ऑफ टाइम. मतलब अगर आप 80 परसेंटाइल से 90 परसेंटाइल पे जाना चाहते हैं, तो शायद आपको 150 घंटे का एफर्ट डालना है. बट आपको 90 परसेंटाइल से अगर 95 परसेंटाइल पे जाना है, तो 150 घंटे और लगेंगे. और वो 95 परसेंटाइल से 99 परसेंटाइल पे जाना है, तो शायद अब ये 4 परसेंटाइल के लिए शायद 200 घंटे लग जाए. वो 99 परसेंटाइल से 99.99 पे जाना है, तो शायद और 200 घंटे ले जाए. तो वो लॉ ऑफ डिमिनिशिंग रिटर्न्स है. और वो फिर आप इतनी सारी एफर्ट एक एक छोटी छोटी माइन्यूट चीज़ों को देख के सेल्फ अवेयरनेस के साथ फिक्स करते हैं. तो वो थोड़ा ऑब्सेशन चाहिए. हाँ, तो वो थोड़ा सा ऑब्सेशन अच्छा है. सो आई जस्ट रीकैप दिस डिस्कशन एंड देन आई मूव ओवर टू योर कमेंट्स. हमने क्या बात की यार? गोल ओरिएंटेड, जिसमें बड़े गोल रखने हैं. एक्शन ओरिएंटेशन, ऑलवेज हैव बायस फॉर एक्शन. इफ देयर इज अ डे व्हेन यू डिड नॉट एक्ट टू मूव टुवर्ड्स योर गोल्स, then that's a day when we've missed out an opportunity to become better. Then future orientation. हाँ, क्योंकि दिन आएंगे खराब, हाँ, डाउट्स होंगे, नेगेटिविटी आएगी, but then we need to learn to shake it all off and then once again keep our eyes forward. And a little bit of obsession. I have this trait. I don't know whether it is going to be good for you or not, but I have this trait, and I believe that when we are obsessed, we can at times go ahead and deliver great results. And these are the kind of things that help us stand out from the pack. These are the kind of things that help us separate ourselves from the rest. तो उस पे थोड़ा सा ध्यान दें. So that's how I work, and hopefully you should work. BRT is ICAT VRC harder than real for at least 4 of the ICATs, yes. बाकी वो वेरियस है यार. मतलब कैट में भी अलग अलग डिफिकल्टी लेवल्स आते हैं, तो इसलिए हमने ICAT में भी अलग अलग डिफिकल्टीज लेवल दिए हुए हैं. Anonymous 30 pages, 4 days, 1 hour. Oh, good going, huh? Sophie's World भी खत्म कर दिया. Way to go, man. Fabulous. A pat on the back for you. हाँ, स्कूल में हाथ में स्टार बना देते थे, होते तो बना देता मैं. दिनेश सर, प्लीज कैन यू एक्सप्लेन टू मी हाउ टू इम्प्रूव एक्यूरेसी इन आरसीज. दिनेश, इसके लिए डेडिकेटेड वीडियोस मैंने इसी चैनल पे डाले हुए हैं. सो व्हाई डोंट यू गो अहेड एंड वॉच दोज वीडियोस, एंड आई एम श्योर दे विल हेल्प. अदरवाइज I may not be able to. If you watch those videos, you'll get a more comprehensive answer to your concern. Until 2 weeks, I had an accuracy of 80%. All of a sudden, I can't even understand an RC. How do I cope? Nikhil, when the exam comes closer, there are times when pressure builds up. So check, is it pressure? If it is pressure, then things like meditation and mindfulness and chamomile tea, those are the kind of things that help. Take those things seriously and check whether you are sleeping well or not. Okay, Anonymous says what to read daily now. Anonymous, the areas that you're struggling with the most in RCs, the subject matter that you're struggling with the most, pick up those things and start reading those. And if nothing else pops to your mind, how about picking up NCRT's 12th standard book on political theory and reading it? स्टडी बार बार ब्रेक हो जाता है, सेल्फ डाउट आता है, क्वांट वीक है, सो नहीं लगता हो पाएगा. हाँ लूसी, यार ये होगा, दिमाग का काम है यार नेगेटिव नेगेटिव चीज़ों की तरफ डालना. बट देन कीप फोकसिंग ऑन द पॉजिटिव्स, कीप लुकिंग अहेड इंस्टेड ऑफ लुकिंग बैकवर्ड्स, एंड आई एम श्योर दैट विल हेल्प. How much time to give to preparation initially? Preparing for 2025. Devansh, the truth is, jitna all the time that you can devote, please devote it. If you come to me and say I can devote 2 hours, devote 2 hours. If you come to me tomorrow and say I have 20 hours, I can assign you task which is worth 20 hours. If you have 25 hours, I can assign you tasks worth 25 hours. So all the time that you have that can be put into this preparation, please put it towards the prep. Harsh, how much a person has to score in order to achieve cutoffs in VARC? Anything above 20 is generally safe for cutoffs, but if we start thinking in terms of grade scores, then somewhere between 39 to 45 takes you to 99 percentile. और ये मैंने ना यहाँ introduction to VARC लिया हुआ है, it's available on YouTube, where I've taken you through the score versus percentile of the previous years. You can check those for greater data. Himang, BCom second year, mid-semester test, final exam, other courses, work. Himang, see, at the end of the day, no matter how busy you are, you can actually, since you're preparing for CAT 25, there's a quick tip for you. How about maintaining something called a time log? So for the next 1 week, jot down everything that you do and for how long. So any activity that consumed more than 15 minutes of your time, write it down somewhere. Post facto, you talked to somebody for 20 minutes, write it down. You took a shower for 20 minutes, write it down. You studied something for your college for more than 20 minutes, write it down. A week from now, you'd be able to see whether it is indeed a problem of lack of time or it is a problem of not utilizing the time wisely. So time log will make it black and white. So start from there and hopefully we'll be able to take a call afterwards. Then we have Siddharth Sinha. CAT का LOD is greater than sectionals. हाँ definitely. Sectionals से तो on an average ज़्यादा ही रहेगा यार. J, solving 2 passages accurately enough. So 2 passages accurately means the best case scenario is 8 questions, which is 24 marks. So is that enough? Well, depends on how many marks you're going to get from the other 2 sections. If you're going to get a lot of marks from the other 2 sections, let's say you come to me and say that I am going to get 30 each in both of the other sections, then yes, then it is enough, because then it basically means you're getting 84. 84 is more like 99.3 percentile or thereabouts. But if you're not getting great scores in the other 2 sections, then maybe you would want to get a couple of extra questions from here, 6 more marks from here. Anmol, VRC's fluctuating is normally because it is either going to be tied to the difficulty level or to the fact that we guess while choosing options. We're not 100% sure of an answer choice, we're guessing. So look at which one of these 2 factors affects you and then we can fix it. Anonymous, that is why I asked you that, if you know which areas bother you more, then pick up those areas. Otherwise this. So if there are some other areas that concern you, that bother you, that trouble you, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, Eon essays are always a good bet. Pick up something at random and read. Adnan. Oi. 99.9 to 65, but I think we've already dealt with this theme, so you know what to do. Some RCs start without a proper introduction. BRT, most of the actual CAT RCs will start without a proper introduction. Come to think of it, almost, if I look at the passages that they picked up last year, almost 65% of them were from books. And they were typically middle of the book. So that's the norm. That is going to happen. Become comfortable with it. And when it comes to vocabulary, I think you know what to do for it. You already know the answer to that. You don't need me for it, I hope. हाँ हर्ष कट ऑफ मार्क्स तो देखो 80 परसेंटाइल है ना, बट आई टू बी ऑन द सेफर साइड 85 परसेंटाइल, तो 7-8 सवाल भी अगर सही कर लोगे तो हो जाएगा. Aditya, yeah, you're already getting scores in a range where, unless I know what kind of mistakes you make, it'll be difficult for me to tell you something specific. Anybody who starts getting more than 90 percentile, or typically around 93 percentile, once you cross 93 percentile, unless you sit down one-on-one, it becomes difficult. Amitanshu, trying hard, so lost. भाई टू डू लिस्ट बना सबसे आसान है. द मोमेंट यू स्टार्ट मेकिंग अ टू डू लिस्ट, you realize that you know what to do. It could be a matter of prioritizing, that's different, but you'd at least be able to get it. Oh, Jay, in that case, yes, it does make sense then, yes. Okay, so I hope that I could tell you a brief about my mindset which helped me move towards great scores. If you combine it with these other strategy videos that I've made for you on this channel, where we've talked about RCs and VAs and vocabulary and mindset, I'm sure you'd have a much clearer picture. Amitanshu, as many hours as you can devote, yaar. Up to it is the last leg, right? We are 3 weeks away from the exam. As much time as you can devote is what we want. ओके. और प्रैक्टिस कहाँ से करें? देखो, एक सोर्स पकड़ लो. iQuanta में बहुत प्रैक्टिस मटेरियल है. हर रोज़ यार ग्रुप्स में डाल रहे होते हैं, तो बस उसी को फॉलो करते रहो. उसमें बस एडजस्टमेंट इतनी सी कर सकते हैं कि जिन एरियाज़ में आप अभी थोड़ा वीक चल रहे हैं, जिनको आप टारगेट कर रहे हैं एरियाज ऑफ कंफर्ट बनाने का, उनको प्रायोरिटाइज कर ले. हाँ, बट हो जाएगा यार. 3 हफ्ते जितनी इंप्रूवमेंट डेफिनेटली आएगी इफ यू कैन कीप योर विथ्स टुगेदर. हर्ष, हो जाएगा यार, बस इस बार भी लगे रहो. बाकी दोनों सेक्शंस में अगर काफ़ी अच्छा स्कोर आ गया, इंग्लिश में ठीक भी आया, तो रिजल्ट अच्छा आ जाएगा. भूपेश, यार ये ना, आई हैव ऑलरेडी डेल्ट विद इट. आई हैव मेड अ डेडिकेटेड वीडियो where it was made some 3 weeks ago, but the principles that I shared remain valid. So you'd find a video that talks about how to increase your VARC scores in 6 weeks, in 42 days. Go through that video. I'm sure that will help, and good luck for that. 3 best tricks for odd one out. Practice करते हैं, उसमें बताता हूँ. चलो, ठीक है. Aditya, try and experimenting. After 3 RCs, move over to VA. VA के कम से कम 3 सवाल करने के बाद फिर RC में वापस आओ, फिर देखो. Okay. Aditya, that video on how to increase your VARC score over the next 6 weeks, go ahead, watch that video. I'm sure that will help you a lot. इन सब चीज़ों की ऑलरेडी काफ़ी सारी इनपुट्स दिए हुए हैं, उन पे काम करते रहोगे तो मिल जाएगा. पैराजम्बल्स अल्फा काम करते हैं, और उसमें चलो अभी थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस बढ़ाते हैं साथ में. हाँ तो देखते हैं क्या कर सकते हैं. प्रथम, 400 plus RCs. Yeah, Pratham, this is a very common issue. A lot of us think that if we practice more and more RC passages, we'll become better. That's not true. Every mistake that we make is a feedback. Is a feedback on things that are missing from our arsenal, things that we need to add. Okay, so you also need to take some special measures in order to fix those issues, take care of those things as well, right? So chaliye, it was a pleasure interacting with you guys. I will meet you guys once again really soon with some other topic, and we'd go ahead and work on that. So until then, stay safe, stay focused, stay in touch, and keep working hard. I'm again telling you, I know that you are capable of doing it. So make sure that every morning when you wake up, you go ahead and give it your best shot. तो अपने टाइम को वाइजली यूज़ करो और सिर्फ ब्लाइंडली प्रैक्टिस नहीं करो, गलतियों से सीखो, उनसे सीख लेकर के प्लान बनाओ और फिर आगे बढ़ो. ये करोगे तो बिल्कुल अच्छा हो ही जाएगा. एंड आई विल सी यू रियली सून इन आवर नेक्स्ट सेशन.